So it goes without saying that most business owners running Facebook ads are expecting sales or customers, but with the wrong funnel, you might actually end up losing a lot of money. And in this video, I'll walk you through the different Facebook ad funnels that I run for my clients, printing millions a year so you can finally start seeing real results yourself. If you're new to the channel, you don't yet know who I am. My name is Justin Lalonde, and I'm the founder at pitadvertising.com, where on the one hand, we help businesses implement scalable ad engines, and on the other, we help info and e-com businesses grow to multi-seven figures with paid ads. Over the last year, I've profitably spent and advised on over $15 million in ad spend. And that said, let's get straight into today's video. And so what I've got opened up in front of me is different funnels that I rank from lowest intent to highest intent. Now, this is actually the second time I record this video. The first time I went everything through and I forgot to record my iPad. So bear with me. I've already got some notes, which is going to help us, I feel, get through this in a better and more efficient manner. So the first funnel, which I'd call this the lowest intent funnel you can possibly run, is a lead magnet funnel. And so the goal with a funnel like this one is, well, you're going to offer a freebie or something in exchange for information of someone. And so here I have my own Facebook page right here. This is a funnel I used to generate leads for our ad agency in Q4, where I ran essentially with an opt-in for giving them a free ebook about Black Friday, Cyber Monday. Now, the goal with the lead magnet funnel is the following. Well, its main goal actually is to warm up leads. So again, it's pretty simple. You actually want to warm up a potential audience to then eventually work with you somewhere down the line in the future, okay? Now, it's also the funnel that typically gives you the lowest cost per lead, because again, there's pretty much no friction. It's pretty straightforward. Hey, you opt in, you get this freebie. That's it, no strings attached. So typically gives you the lowest cost per lead, but it is the one who will require the most back-end work in order to actually turn this into a profit. Meaning, once somebody opts in and becomes a lead, it might be quote unquote the end of their journey on their side, or at least so they think, but you in the back end will want to start ascending them to your other offers, right? So with the lead magnet funnel, well, there's two things that you can do. So number one right here is setters working the leads. So setters working the leads right here, well, what does that do specifically is you have an appointment setter, or perhaps two or three, whatever. You have a team of appointment setters who are going to start calling the leads, texting them, and their goal is to get them on a sales call with your sales team, right? The goal is to ascend them to your actual offers. Now, a drip sequence is also something that you're typically going to want to implement off of a lead magnet. And so what does that look like? Typically, it's going to be a 7 to 60 day sequence. And so when somebody opts in, you're going to want to send them a first email who acknowledges where they came from, right? Like, hey, I saw you checked out this form. I'm hoping that, you got the value you wanted from this guide that you got. By the way, if you didn't get it yet, here's a link, direct link to get to the PDF. And I wanted to explain to you why I decided to create this guide. And then you got to give context, right? And then you do a series of daily emails over 7 to 60 days to gradually warm up the prospect to you, your offer. Not only increase their knowledge, but you want to get them deeper into your funnel. You might want to upsell them in the email to perhaps a low ticket product that you have, which I'll get to that funnel in a second. And then again, the goal is to push them deeper into your funnel. There's an action that you should want them to take on the back end. Would that be with appointment setters to get them on a call, or with the drip sequence to upsell them to a low ticket offer, or to again get them on a sales call with your team? So lead magnet for you. Now, when I go here, this is going to be a low ticket funnel, okay? A low ticket funnel looks like that. This is actually two of our clients, one of which was an ad engine, so our one-on-one consulting, and the other one was an agency client of ours. So these two actually, they're running a very similar layout of their landing page, which comes here from Mr. Alan Sultanik. So if you don't know yet, I highly recommend you check him out. Shout out to Alan. I've been watching a lot of his stuff over the last few years, and he's just one of those OGs when it comes to marketing. And so low ticket funnels or low ticket products have been on the rise in the last, I'd say, year and a half. You see a lot of guys out there preaching about low ticket products and how it's an amazing way to make money online and to get you started. Now, I say wrong to that. So I don't think this is the best. In fact, I think this is the worst type of funnel that a beginner could run. This is great if you have money. This is great if you have a solid team in the back end, but it is not the right funnel to run if you're starting out or if you don't have a lot of money yet. Now, I'll get into why and the intricacies of the different funnels and who should use what funnel throughout this video. But again, just know that for now, this is typically not going to be the best funnel to run if you're just starting out. Now, I put that right here. It's best if you have money. Why? Let's get to that in a second. Well, first of all, what does that do as a funnel? it warms up the leads. Same exact thing as your lead form. So you have warmer leads because now they've went through a mini training, or most of this, right? When I say low ticket, like this is $27 as an example. This one here on the right is $97. It's typically going to be something like less than $200. You might have a few order bumps and like other guides and whatever you want to sell people throughout your low ticket funnel. But the total average order value is not really going to exceed $200, maybe $300 at most, with all the bump ups and whatever you're going to do in your upsell process. But nonetheless, the goal is to give as much value as you can to a prospect for a low price. And what that creates is a pulse check. And so now, instead of just becoming a mere lead like this here, right? These guys here, you don't know if they have money. You don't know if they even want to buy. You don't know if there's intent in there. These guys, they might even just be looking for free stuff. Someone who comes in from a low ticket funnel, you know they have money, right? And that's what I call a pulse check. It's essentially, that they're currently a customer, and there's the saying in the space that once a customer, always a customer. And I think that to be true, honestly, from this type of funnel where there's a lot of money to be made in the background by siphoning and ascending this audience to a higher ticket offer. But we'll get back to that in a second. I want to talk about why I said earlier it's best if you have a lot of money, okay? So typically, if you spend about 10K or so on ads, as I write right here, you can expect to get maybe an 0.5 to a 1x ROAS on a low ticket funnel, okay? Now, it's not to say that this funnel is never profitable, but most of the time at scale in the front end, it is not a profitable funnel, okay? If you're spending $1,000, $2,000, maybe $3,000 a month on ads, this funnel actually might be profitable on the front end, which means you might get like a 1.5, a 2x ROAS even on a funnel like this one. But 99% of the time, it is very close to a 1x ROAS or below. And so I'll give the hypothetical scenario here of you actually getting a 0.5 ROAS. So you're spending $10,000 on ads, you're getting $5,000 back in low ticket sales. Now, the purchase journey does not end there. This is when you go back essentially to this exact process that I shared earlier, which is appointment setters, okay? A low ticket funnel only works if you have a super solid team of appointment setters and a very robust drip sequence process in the background. If you have those two things right, you will be able to turn a profit from your low ticket funnel. If you do not, you're probably not going to make a profit out of your low ticket funnel. In fact, you're going to lose a lot of money. Again, this funnel helps you liquefy your ad cost. What do I mean by that? Instead of paying leads here, right? Here, I'm paying for a lead and the lead is not paying me back, right? Like I'm paying for a lead and I'm getting $0 back for now and I'm hoping to make money in the future. Here, as an example, I'm paying, let's just hypothetically say, $20 to acquire a customer who is going to pay me $30. And so I turn a profit. Or I spend $40 to acquire a customer who's going to pay me $30. And so it only costs me $10 to acquire a paying customer. And so you liquefy your ad costs by doing so, okay? And basically what that helps you do is to have higher intent, quote unquote, leads, or as mentioned earlier, once a customer, always a customer. So low value customers / high intent leads that your setting team can now work with in order to get them on a sales call and get them to ascend to one of your higher ticket offers. When I say high ticket, I mean thousands of dollars. I mean, it could be a one-time fee, it could be a course, a mentorship program, it could be an agency services, a retainer, right? Name it, something worth a few thousands. So now, moving on to the third type of funnels, challenge / webinar. These two, again, two agency clients with which we've worked with over the last few months. Left as a challenge, right as a webinar. Challenge funnel, very similar to a webinar, which is why I've put them together because they serve a very similar purpose. Now, the goal with a challenge and or a webinar funnel is to do this. It's to bring somebody who is not really aware of who you are, what you do, what you sell, or of a certain transformation that you're trying to help them go through. And by the end of the webinar or by the end of the challenge, they become slowly more aware of you, of your business, of what you have to offer, and of said transformation. You are offering them a transformation completely for free. So a free of charge transformation. And so typically as a duration, a webinar is going to be something like 1 to 3 hours long. Whereas a challenge funnel is typically going to be 30 to 60 minutes a day. And it's going to last for about 3 to 5 days. Now look into the space as an example, right? Iman Gatsi, with whom I've been personally working with now for almost 2 years at this point with this company, Educate, he often runs a funnel that looks very similar to that, but on YouTube, where every quarter or so, he's going to run one of these massive events and challenges where people can watch a series of videos throughout the span of 3 to 4 or 5 days. And you'll notice, right? Oftentimes, the first video of that series is going to be super broad. It's going to kind of talk about fear. It's going to talk about, why someone would want to make money now, why someone essentially has to kind of get off their ass and, get going, get to work. And then when you watch the last video of the challenge 5 or 6 or 7 days later, typically that video is going to be like, start an agency, here's the best way to start an agency, click the button below, buy our program, so on and so forth. We got someone who was pretty much unaware to someone who's now most aware. They understand us, they truly know their desire, they know they want to take action, and they're ready to buy our whatever high ticket solution is that we have on our side. And so with the webinar, there's 2 ways in which you can do so. There's an automated webinar, as you can see right here, and then there's a one-time live. An automated webinar is a pre-recorded presentation that would play automatically, let's say every day or every 2 days or every week. A live, well, it kind of says it's an actual live presentation. Typically, the conversion rate is much higher on a live presentation because people are not dumb. People understand if this is real or not. And so same thing with the challenge, right? A challenge is typically going to be live most of the time. And if not, there's at least going to be a component of live in the challenge. Like again, going back to Iman as an example, the videos are pre-recorded, but there's like live, texting going on in the WhatsApp group that he always makes that supports the challenge. This client here is an example of ours, made an actually live challenge where every event, every day for 5 days was a live video happening like in real time by the owner. And in either case, so both in terms of a webinar and of a challenge, typically again, if it's live, it has better results more from a conversion rate standpoint. And now, what you want to do is when you realize that when somebody joins or wants to join a challenge or a webinar, they also become a lead, just like they do when they fill out a lead magnet form as shown earlier. And so now your setters, they're going to want to wait before texting those leads. Because the goal of the event or the goal of the webinar is to pitch something. It's to, yes, help the consumer to go through a transformation, but at the end, you want to pitch them the next step. You want to leave an open loop at the end of the challenge or at the end of the webinar to get them to buy, to get them to convert. And so that CTA might be a hard CTA to say, click the button below or drop, I'm going to drop a link in the chat right now and buy my program. Or it might be, I'm going to drop my calendar below, book in your consultation with me and my team so we can help you further. Could be something like that. So does that mean that you should not involve your setters at all in a webinar or a challenge funnel? No, it does not mean that. Actually, you want to have a drip sequence when somebody opts in to make sure that you prime them and warm them up to make sure that they're going to show up to the webinar and the challenge. Because if nobody shows up, then there's no conversions, right? You have to make sure people show up. And another good way to get people to show up, well, is to use your setters, to have them manually text people on iMessage or WhatsApp, which has a much higher reply rate than CRM text messages. And to tell them, hey, in non-capital letters, which looks like a regular text message, hey, Justin, this is Justin from paidadvertising.com. Saw you sign up for the webinar, 5 minutes ago. Look, is everything good on your side? Did you get the link and the calendar invite for Thursday, 5 p.m.? And then you want to make sure that you follow up with people to get a response, just get them engaged and, get them to tune in to the webinar and or the challenge, okay? And so when I go back right here, these events, again, you have people tuning in every day for a few days. You're giving them a lot of value for free for a long period of time. You're live, if you are on webinar or if you do like a live challenge like this client did right here, and you answer their questions. And it's so like you're giving them a lot for free for a few days. And if someone tunes in every day and spends that time with you, there's a very high chance that they're going to convert at the end of that challenge or webinar into whatever offer you're trying to pitch. And so typically, again, right before the webinar or the challenge, the appointment setting team's job is to get people to tune in. And right after, the appointment setting team job is now going to start hammering those leads to get them to take the next step, to either watch the recordings of the webinar or the challenge if this is something that you offer, or to remind them that there's a special offer for anybody who signed up for the challenge or webinar and to get them to convert on the offer or book in a call. Now, moving on to the next funnel. This is another client of ours, which we've built him and wrote essentially this entire VSL that you see right here. So a VSL funnel, it's a video sales letter. Okay, video sales letter, it's usually framed as a free training that you offer for people. Okay, so you run an ad, you tell them, hey, click the link below, you're going to get access to a free training. That training is either going to be gated by an opt-in page, which people have to give you their information. Guess what? Just like a lead magnet. A VSL can actually be framed as a lead magnet. People first put in their information to then get access to a video instead of a PDF or an ebook or a guide. And that video is what you call a video sales letter. So a VSL funnel is actually very similar to a lead form or lead magnet, I should say. And so it's either gated by an opt-in, or you can also send people straight to the video. You don't even ask for their information. You send them straight to a page where there's a video embedded on there. And right below the video, there's a CTA button, where typically that CTA button, if they click on it, it's going to bring up a calendar for people to book in a call. Okay, pretty straightforward. And again, bear with me here. I'm going to soon go into like who should use what funnel and what they all mean together. Now, last but not least, we have two funnels right here that I want to bring up. A messenger / a profile visit funnel. This is, again, one of our ad engine clients whom we've helped hit 100K a month actually in September from some of the ads that he implemented over the summer with our guidance. He's a sales coach, and he is running essentially messenger campaigns or Instagram DM campaign, where the call to action is you run an ad, and at the end of the ad and in the copy, you say like, DM me the word closer, or DM me the word sales, or DM me the word agency. And then when people DM you, then they go straight, they skip all of this fluff and they go straight, oops, I actually deleted something here. But what I wanted to say is they go straight to your appointment setting team, right? Like from the ad, they're already talking to a setter. And so this is like as direct as it gets. Even more direct than that, I was starting to draw that earlier. And again, bear with me for the bad drawings, but imagine for a second in your mind that I am drawing a Calendly right here, okay? You could also do a straight to calendar funnel, and I'm going to write that right here. So calendar, okay? That too is pretty straightforward. Add to call booked. Again, no friction whatsoever. Now, typically is you want to run one of these funnels right here if you're either not making as much money, or you're getting started out, or you want as simple of a process as possible, and you haven't dramatically scaled your business yet. You're making sub 100K a month. Typically when you're going to make that. Not to say that these don't work above 100K a month. I mean, we have, again, multiple 7-figure clients who still have a VSL, which a VSL is a great evergreen funnel. It's the type of funnel that you can run all year long. I also have coaches who are making 200 and 300K a month, still running a messenger funnel. Just messenger funnel tracking is a little off sometimes. It's hard to kind of track. And the calendar funnel is one of those which typically only works if you have a very, and I'm going to write that down here for you, a very unsophisticated market or a very warm market. So either if you do like a lot of organic content, you do a lot of YouTube videos, you do a lot of that, you could run ads honestly with the calendar, and probably a lot of people would book because they already know of you. Or if you're in a space where there's very little competition, then a calendar funnel might also work because, again, this audience is somewhat primed to buy because they haven't been jaded by so many ads. But now, the more money you want to make and the broader of a market you want to attract, the more you'll have to start gravitating to these funnels. When I say these funnels, it would be a challenge or a webinar or a low ticket offer, because you need a way to get the masses interested in what it is you have to offer. And for that to happen, you're going to run out of high intent customers or high intent prospects. Here, again, you have the highest intent prospects. They're primed. They want to either, if it's a messenger funnel, they want to talk to you. They already want to talk to you. Same thing with the calendar, right? They already want to talk to you as soon as they see the ad. This one here, it's like, well, they need a little bit of convincing, but they're going to watch one single video of you and then boom, they're ready to, again, take action. Whereas here, it's like you have them stick with you for hours or days at a time before then placing a call to action. So here, this is for the broader market, a more of a mass market who needs more convincing before buying. And same thing with the low ticket funnel right here. It's for the broader market who needs a little bit more convincing, who needs to trust you first before then taking action. I've also seen combinations of these funnels work great together. I said it earlier, like a VSL funnel with an opt-in page is technically like a lead magnet, right? So it's kind of like a 2-in-1 funnel. Or if I go back to like a low ticket funnel, I've seen people run a challenge, push people to a low ticket product, and then pitch people on a higher ticket product. So as an example, it's pretty much that with this client right here, right? This exact client that you see on screen right now for the challenge, it's exactly that funnel for these guys. It's a challenge. On the challenge, we push them to an event. The event ticket price is about $500, people tune in to the physical event, and then they get pitched a $10,000 total price from there. So a higher ticket offer, right? And so again, the more money you have, the more you play in this ballpark. The less money you have, the more you play with higher intent leads, and then you'll have to make your way to lower intent customers. I do want to start by stating this. A lead form is probably the only funnel where I would say it works for both kind of lower and higher intent customers, okay? It's probably the only Trojan horse in here where you can kind of use and place at various places in your strategy. Because again, like technically, a challenge or webinar funnel is a lead magnet because people opt in, right? What is the magnet that attracts the lead? It's the challenge or the webinar. Technically, a VSL is a lead magnet. What's the magnet? Well, it's a free video training, right? So I'm like, the lead magnet funnel is like one of which you can kind of use at various places in your journey. But rule of thumb is the less money you have, the more new your business is. And I'm saying that like you're either below 7 figures or low 7 figures, you're going to play with these types of funnels, okay? Or if you want to get the multi 7 figures and or 8 figures, then you're going to start playing with these funnels right here. So either low ticket or challenge and webinar. And remember the purpose of a funnel, okay? A purpose of a funnel is to disguise the sales process, okay? The more you go to a high intent funnel like these here, the less you disguise the sales process, right? Because if I pitch to someone to book in a call, pretty much gonna know that like they're about to be sold, right? If I pitch to someone to message me, well, I'm gonna talk to them. So I'm probably gonna try and pitch them something. But then the lower you go here, right? With a VSL, so like a free training, and then you go to a webinar, and then you go to a challenge, right? It's like, it becomes less and less obvious that you're trying to pitch them something because you're going to a broader and broader market who is less and less ready to buy from you. So they need more and more nurturing. And low ticket product, you're not hiding it, which is why it works so well also at scale, because people are not dumb. A lot of the time, a lot of people, especially in the online space, meaning like if you sell to agencies, if you sell to e-commerce brands, if you sell to info product owners, we've all opted into a gazillion funnels. You know, we all did challenges, webinars, VSLs. It's like we're past that point, which is why low ticket offers work great for us. Meaning like, I don't see you trying to like pull a fast one on me. Like you're telling me from the get-go, hey, you're going to have to pay me like $97 for the values. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm going to give you some money, right? So low ticket is like the only funnel that I shared today that like you do not disguise the sales process. You do it by essentially masking a higher ticket product that you want to sell and substituting it on the front end for a lower ticket product. And so now, having watched that, you probably think you know everything that you need to know to make your ads perform, because now you got a solid funnel and you understand what funnel you need to work for your business. But you might need somebody to implement it, to guide you on it in order to make the ads for it. And that's where I come in. So check out the first link in the description down below if you are an info product or e-commerce brand owner wanting to work with a Meta, Google, or TikTok ads partner. So booking a call with our team at paidadvertising.com today. And with that said, if you want to work one-on-one with me and consult on your systems, on funnel, offer, ads, name it, check out a second link down below to join my one-on-one ad engine consulting program. And once you've done that, check out this next video where I'm showing you exactly how I'm using AI to propose ad iterations for me.